And in the meantime, for our between rounds deck, I've been pretty excited about this. This is something I think we really should have got to a little while ago, but this is updated mono red Roku. This is not a wish deck. This is not a Ruby Medallion deck. This is just kind of a fair, like Hayashi style red midrange deck. This is one that we started playing in the Avatar set. We were playing 4 Legend of Rokus then, which I think is too many. But it's like it's a mono red midrange deck using like DRC, Cori-Steel Cutter, and Ragavan to apply cheap pressure, cheap removal spells. I think you've got the Cleansing Wildfire, Field of Ruin, Sundering, Eruption package to disrupt the big mana in combo decks. And then you've got Legend of Roku and now Tablet of Discovery sub numbers to kind of outgrind your opponents in the late game. In addition to the Wildfire package being good at outgrinding stuff in the late game. We played this deck before. A lot of people like really doubt Cori-Steel Cutter, but Cori-Steel Cutter is just really good with all of these like non-creature cantripping spells. I think the card plays really well. Only playing 1 flashback, wouldn't mind playing more than 1, but Cori-Steel Cutter is I think a really nice tool in this archetype. Oh, you know what? Sorry, this list is also a little out of date. I cut 2 Soul Guide Lanterns for 2 Soulless Jailers. This is what I started with off stream. I imported the wrong one. I think the box field should be right. On the play for round 1, I think let's keep. So what I'm gonna do here with this Bauble is I'm gonna look at my opponent's deck, and if I feel like they're playing Boros or Prowess, then maybe I'll play an untapped land on turn 1 instead of a tap land. Well, then maybe I would just, I don't know, because I want to be able to go Flashback Heat turn 2 if they are playing Boros or Prowess. Here you are again. My opponent says, I'm here every day. All right, let's take a peek over there. Oh, and then on the hand hider, ooh, Heliod. Yeah, I probably want to hold up Heat for Guide Pride. On the topic of the hand hider for non-subscribers, it just doesn't work. I got an email from a chatter. I got an email from a chatter saying that we could use this overlay and only show the overlay to non-subscribers, but the overlay is just not visible on mobile for any viewers, and I think it's also just disableable for any viewers too. I think it's just straight up not a solution that works at all, as it turns out. So sorry for anybody who was hyped about that, but not a solution for the hand hider problem. Still going to be trying to think about it some. Adarex with the 27 months. Thank you. Welcome back. They play a Cauldron, which is going to be pretty good against my Flashback, I guess. I can maybe find a copy of Legend of Roku, or sorry, of Price of Freedom to kill this. We mill a copy of Galvanic Discharge. Unfortunately, we don't have a target for it, but I'll just go ahead and Wildfire the Temple Garden, get a Monk token. So, like, I set it up, and I'm like, wait a minute, this just isn't going to work. A second sub-only stream with the hand hider. Oh, there we go. So they go to exile my Wildfire. Came back from my local modern tournament with my wonky Scry counterbalance deck. I believe I won with something to prove myself. That's awesome. That is a great feeling. Keep chasing it, huh? I get a challenge is not started. Challenge starts at 10 a.m. on Fridays, and then or like what, you know, it's 9 a.m. my time. It's 10 a.m. It will be 10 a.m. When we start playing. And then on Mondays, it usually starts around this time. I've been enjoying, of course, the Monday, Friday challenge schedule for a little while. Do I just... I don't think I'm supposed to trade Flashback just for random... just for a token here. It's close, though. It's not super far off. They have at least 3 basics in their deck. When you see Dimir Flash deck, but your Voice of the Wisp is no longer on the menu. It's honestly pretty bad with Field of Ruin, but it's also just not... It doesn't feel like the best card advantage engine either. Okay, so my opponent has played a Ballista. Do they have a land to be threatening lethal with it. Seems like they do not. Let's go ahead, I guess, and hold the discharge to maybe trigger. Opponent deals me 1 damage in response. So I believe holding up Flashback for one of my removal spells should be pretty close to a win, if not a win, right? Where like they're gonna need to Cauldron the Ballista almost always. Obviously, the missing a land here is really a big deal, but they're gonna need to Cauldron the Ballista, and I can that means the Cauldron will be tapped, which will let me Flashback. What was the idea behind this version and trying to make it different than mono red land destruction and prowess decks? Wanted the land destruction but a faster clock. Kind of asking how it came to this configuration, but you have made it. So one thing is this deck came before the Ruby Medallion deck. This was this shell existed when Legend of Roku first came out. And so like this deck it's not prowess, right? Because we are definitely a mid-range deck that is trying to outgrind our opponents while also having access to cheap threats that can race in the matchups we need to race in a similar way that like any mid-range deck is transitioning between aggro and control based on the matchup, right? And this is definitely that qualification here. So I think they have Solitude, and they can try to combo off with Solitude here with the Cauldron Ballista because this already has lifelink. And we can break this up with the Flashback. We have to wait for the Cauldron tap. So this definitely is. Oh, and they don't go for it? Do they not know? So because Solitude has lifelink, if they Cauldron the Ballista there, they could have gone off at instant speed. And they don't need to give lifelink. It already has lifelink. And so one thing, this deck has several big advantages over the Ruby Medallion deck. One of the big ones is you are just not that weak to hate cards. Like when you're playing Ragavan, you're playing main deck Legend of Roku. Although Cori-Steel Cutter is weak to High Noon, like you are not so cold to these like Soulless Jailer. You're not as weak to High Noon. You're just not as weak to these tools at all, which is a really big deal because this stuff is kind of hard to beat. So if I draw an untapped land, I could cast Pinnacle Monk first. Okay, Price of Freedom is going to work. Let's go. Price of Freedom, target the Cauldron. Body back with the 27. Thank you. Welcome back. Opponent could have won if they drew Ocelot Pride. Well, I would have been able to respond to the Cauldron tap, right? Oh, oh, okay. I'm sorry. I yielded to all for a second there. Oh, you're saying if they had Cauldron the Solitude, they could have won? Yeah, I definitely think they should have Cauldroned the Cauldron onto the Solitude. I'm gonna board in Flashfires. 4 mana destroy all planes. I think 1 Ghost Vacuum to kind of soft counter Cauldron is okay. Boarding out my 1 copy of Flashback to be a little bit better against the Cauldron tap seems fine. The card was definitely a little bit awkward that game. I think we'll bring in the Pyroclasm. I don't know if I'm also going to bring in the Brotherhood. It feels like this is okay against this build. I think I am going to cut the Wildfires and then leave in the Price of Freedoms. Okay, they're playing 3 basics. Yeah, I think that's okay. I think I'm going to play the 3rd Legend and just go like a little bit bigger. This does seem like it's going to be a grindier matchup. Oh, it's a lot of 4-drops. I think this is a matchup to be okay having a lot of 4-drops. Have I considered pairing Armor Wars with Urza? -1 Ragavan. I think against the green-white deck, Ragavan's a lot better. Right, this is the saga that draws a card for each artifact you control. I think I'm not very interested in pairing this with Urza because in these artifact decks, it's hard to have like a ton of 4-drops, and then in your deck that has a ton of 4-drops, you also have to have little artifact generators, and then you also have to have 4 mana, and you also have to have little artifacts for your little artifact generators. It means your curve is really really sharp. That makes sense. Well, I've got a Flashfires. I guess we'll keep those. We also get to ramp into it with the tablet. So they're playing Young Wolf. So that means they are in Birthing Ritual. They're probably just playing like the Leo combo deck with like 1 Heliod, which is usually what we played. I don't think we played green-white post BNR, and this is a deck that I think got second in a challenge with a while ago. Deck that I like. They do find something to. They find a Leo off the Young Wolf. It's pretty good. We may be a little too slow on the draw here. Not having any 1-drops is tough. More like Sasuke's boyfriend. Happy Pride. Flashfires against the Idyllic Grange deck is also pretty funny. Now the combo with Leo is Cauldron and Ballista, so we're not super duper likely to get comboed, but the Leo is very likely to just become a spell that kind of cascades out of control here. And they find a Heliod, which is going to oh, they missed their combat step. Okay, that was a freebie, I guess. They sack the Young Wolf, and they put an Ocelot Pride into play. So this turn we can go Tablet of Discovery, mill a card. We find Sundering Eruption, which we won't be able to use. I'm going to kill the Leo. Moxfield Overlord. I thought I updated the overlay. I think I need to change my schedule back to how it was, like my morning routine. I keep trying to get things done like early and then come back to all this, and then I just keep like making little. So their Heliod is devoted now, which is kind of scary. The Grange was also pretty good. I think I'm going to go ahead and gain 5 life. See if my opponent has the wherewithal to sack the Ranger Captain. Spike, do you think maybe the new Armor Wars could be good with Urza? I did answer your question earlier, but I don't. I think that the mana curve is going to be too high. Too high. Maybe I don't even want to show my opponent Flashfires because I think I'm losing this game even if I resolve it. Although their mana base, I built their mana base. Their mana base is entirely plains, but maybe it's not that they can't play around it. Maybe it's that they could play around it like with a Ranger Captain sack on a turn like this. Okay, and they do that anyways. Let's go ahead and go to game 3 on the play for game 3. All right, I think let's go down a Legend of Roku. I think I'm going to bring the Flashback in. Just have a little bit more access to removal. Yeah, you're good, Magic. No worries. Yeah, but like you almost definitely can't play like 8 4-drops or like a ton of 4-drops with Armor Wars. It's like Armor Wars wants you to be like very like a version that's you probably want to be in a Springleaf Drum build, so you can like ramp it out as fast as possible. And I don't know. I think it's just probably not going to work. So hard to mulligan. Oh, we have Shinka to go with the Ragavan. Okay, the Shinka is so good here. Because unless they have Solitude, it almost guarantees that Ragavan will ramp us at least once. No world we want Brotherhood in. I mean, possibly we could want Brotherhood in. I think it's a little high variance. They have a Guide of Souls. Uh-oh. Maybe have Solitude? Maybe just reading Shinka. 1/1 Ballista. So I guess we're, losing Ragavan to this. I think I would probably like to hold this Price of Freedom for a Cauldron. Obviously, if I draw like any one drop off the Price of Freedom, I'd probably rather cast it, but probably just field this turn. Love to get the Shinka value. This is probably the last land in my opponent's hand. I guess maybe they have like a Grange. That could make some sense. They do keep a card on top. We'll shuffle it away. I built their deck and I didn't put any forest in it because it's an idyllic Grange deck, and this is sort of the spike pipeline. I build your deck with all basic planes, and then I cast Flashfires against you. Sorry about that. They play another copy of basic planes. So we know they have 3 basics. So I could get all of the basics out of their deck here. Yeah, I think we'll go Price of Freedom. So this will be, yeah, out of basics, and then cast a Ragavan. And then we'll Pinnacle Monk back a Stone Rain draw card. Been loving these Pinnacle Monk decks, just so good. Like this is an untapped land in our deck. All right. Flashfires is, I mean, it's maybe like the most underplayed sideboard card. I don't know. It's been so good. There's so many decks that are so planes focused. Like the goal with your sideboard cards is, I think it's always to get as many percentage points. Oh, we should be playing Boyle actually. the goal with your sideboard cards should always be to like get as many percentage points as possible, not to cover as many bases as possible. Which I think we're getting a lot more percentage points with the second Flashfires. Oh, we're up against Gab. Fun. Force of Vigor, pitch Drown. Yeah, I didn't test Drown. We were talking about maybe playing a Dimir Flash. Could be good. Alright, gonna play a Steel Cutter. See if we got a counter spell. It's Deceive, so there's a lot of times counter spells over there. Gonna save the Bauble for the other Steel Cutter. We should be playing Boyle for sure. Main deck Force of Despair is interesting. I win. Did I call Force of Despair Force of Vigor? No, you misheard me. Sorry, you must have misheard. Resolving Cori-Steel Cutter against Dimir is like, it's so good, dude. They got a counterspell. Any consideration to playing Divide by Zero in these Tablet Wildfire Freedom Brews? I don't know. I don't think Price of Freedom is, or sorry, Divide by Zero. I don't think that card's very good. Maybe it's better to target Island because of the counterspell situation. Yeah, I don't think that card's very good. I don't think it's like it's like not the front side is not very powerful, and then you do get a lesson, which is nice. But I think I'm not so interested, especially because like a lesson package seems a lot worse than a wish package to me. My opponent's got 1 card in hand, and it is Unknown. There to use the counter spell. Pretty good 1 card. Let's see if they have another counter spell. Might get to channel Sokenzan this game. Fair. Punished for playing Sokenzan because I don't have Unholy Heat up right now. I guess I actually should hold up Unholy Heat. My opponent has this Riddler, and so if Gab goes land Riddler, then he'll be able to draw an extra card unless I heat it to response, and then I get to deny the card, which is probably worth it. I drew a Flashback. It's a great top deck. I guess I should target the basic swamp because I've got Field of Ruins. Why am I trying to dunk on Gab Yellow? What do you mean dunk on? I'm trying to win a game against him. For sure. Okay, I drew the Field of Ruin. I guess I'll play it. Spike, why would you try to beat your friend Gabriel Nassif? Cosmo Corgi with the 25. Thank you. Welcome back. So if I cast Sundering Eruption, can Gab give the frog flying? I mean, I'm just they're dead. He's dead. It's fine. But if Gab gives the frog flying after Sundering Eruption resolves, then can he block? Join the challenge. Good luck. Good luck to you too. All right, so I'm gonna play Legend of Roku number 4. Lantern or Ghost Vacuum is kind of interesting. Gab is playing Juan and Frog and Riddler. I might be interested in all my removal spells. I didn't even realize Spike, of course it is. Classic. The Ghost Vacuum does sound pretty good. I think I want to keep in the Wildfire. It's 4 basics. It doesn't apply. Can't block to non-fly creatures. It's real for. Okay, cool. Thank you. That's always a rule that kind of trips me up. Trim tablet. I think tablet's good. Although I feel like I can go down a tablet and a Wildfire on the draw. It's like if I think that's better than going down 2 Wildfires because then the tablets are worse. If that makes sense. We cut Wish. This is a different deck. I know it's playing a lot of the same cards, but this is a mid-range deck. The Ruby Medallion deck's a control deck. And I've been wanting to play like a version like this for a long time, and now we are. Do you think Harbinger Seas and Dimir Flash is a bad plan? I do think it's a bad plan. I think you're naturally very favored against Titan. Titan is the main reason to play Harbinger of the Seas in your sideboard. You have 4 Consigns, 4 Field of Ruin. I'm also playing a Break the Ice for Tron. That gives you a really cohesive game plan. And so it's like, at that point, what is Harbinger of the Seas doing for you? Basically nothing. Basically nothing. Let's say Vacation. Nice. Congrats. And Doom. 72 months. Is that like 6 or 7 years? Hell yeah. Good to see you, Doom. Hope to see you soon. You're not going to be in Vegas, are you? And if you like the Wish version, rest assured, we're going to be playing that with the new hybrid sweeper card from Marvel. I have a 1-lander, Smulligan. I guess we're keeping this on 6. Not a very good hand. Getting Thought Seized? Tommy'd. Well, I'm glad I kept it on my removal, but my hand sucks. Come on, Galvanic Discharge. No Witchmaker to Douse? Hell yeah. Well, I'll be there, of course. I think I'd rather the Channeler resolve. Now it looks like I just am dumb and didn't play one of these on turn 2, but these are my 2 draws. We might get Force of Despaired. Hard card to play around, I guess. Kind of nice to like force your opponents to like fetch shock in these spots because you just have all of the Field of Ruins effects, so it's almost like you get in for 2 free damage. DRC my MVP for my wonky counterbalance deck. I've wanted to play DRC counterbalance for so long. It's just I feel like you need another enabler. Maybe you don't. I wanted to play DRC counter. Is it counter dominance? The red counterbalance. That was one image 3 thing I just never got around to. All right, so holding the Tamiyo back to block Ragavan. Let's maybe I'll just field. No, it feels so bad against Juan if they have Juan. Yeah, playing against Gab. Power balance. Thank you. Could also draw a discharge, maybe. Yeah, I always wanted to try it. It always sounded really fun, if not good. So it does play a wand, which means my fields are going to be bad until I can find an answer for this. Likely going to lose game 2 here. Warps a Riddler. Could flip Tamiyo with a land. Probably be pretty good. Bolt, or sorry, Discharge or Heat would be great top decks. Could kill both of their things. Miss. So at least we get one off the field for these double Field of Ruins. I think I'll play a Monk tapped here. You know, I guess if there was ever a shell to play Power Balance in, it would kind of be the deck we're playing right now, huh? Be good in this matchup. Yeah, may just tap out for a Riddler. Alright, come on, removal spell. So I could cut my opponent off black mana with the Field of Ruin or the Flashback on one of these. Can't quite cast that. That would be awesome. This is such a tough mulligan this game. Alright, I'm gonna Field of Ruin instead of flashbacking one of the wildfires. This way I have Delirium, and then I might need flashback to resolve Unholy Heat through a counterspell. Otherwise, I'm not gonna be able to beat the Tamiya ult. Bad matchup would be playing a 2-mana do nothing too much of the time. Bad matchup would be playing a 2-mana do nothing most of the time. I don't know. I don't know how much it does nothing. Like, it feels like if you're playing against like Boros or like Dimir, like it's just gonna cast you a good number of spells over the course of the game. But you're right. How much it actually does is really tough to tell. Well, now I finally draw the discharge. It's like several turns too late. I think I'm gonna lead on the Roku, even though it like definitely gets countered. And then we're gonna Galvanic Discharge the Tamiyo. Yeah, I'm just conceding. The bad matches for power balance is like Tron, maybe Affinity, maybe just like the decks that don't cast normal curve cards. It is an image 3 card, and it's one I've never cast, but again, probably not all that good. Yeah, I mean, Pinnacle Monk back Discharge is a little awkward into the Nile Spellbomb. I guess if Gab has Nile Spellbomb in his deck, I'm going to cut Flashback for game 3. A fun of Redirect Lightning would solve all of our problems. They minus on Counterspell, interesting. And the explosives on 0? Is that supposed to be on 1? Explosives on 0. This is just dumping the hand for the Riddler, I guess. I think you're supposed to counter this to get the extra card. Well, okay, so let me look at my top card, see if I like it or not. Can shuffle with the field. Kind of don't hate it. It's probably pretty good. Let's go ahead and yeah, okay, if my opponent uses counterspell on if my opponent uses counterspell on the flashback, that's okay. But we're trying to. I think I'd rather just get the spell bomb before he has to tap a black mana. If that makes sense. Gab is down to 6. Has a counterspell in his hand. And upkeep pushes to draw the extra card. So I think I want to shuffle away out of the field now. Then I'm gonna need to resolve something next turn. I think I'm attacking Bob the dog. I don't know. It seems like a tough game to win. Uh, one more mana. Bowmaster have been so good against the Riddler here with them being a 5. All right, let's go to game 3. On the play for game 3, I'm gonna cut my flashback against the Board of Denial Spellbomb. Gonna keep in the Ghost Vacuum. I think I'm just gonna go play a 3rd tablet here. And oh, maybe I do want to play. I feel like I do want to play all the wildfires on the play. Maybe I don't play the Ghost Vacuum. I think the Ghost Vacuum is so good, but maybe it's not. Maybe on the play it's also worse. Like it doesn't do anything till the late game, and if you're on the play, you can't take advantage of like your aggressive start. That's what I'm gonna tell myself and not be super sure. Let me also just make sure I joined the challenge here. Yes, okay. So that's starting in 15 minutes. Famously enough time to finish a game against Nassif. Yeah, the Bowmaster would have been so good against the second Riddler in Gab's hand, too. Well, I guess he could have just minus Tommy on Fatal Push to kill it. I know Brotherhood doesn't seem that good here, but extra land destruction is maybe necessary. Brotherhood doesn't destroy lands. I don't know if you're thinking about the new Marvel card that doesn't exist yet, but will exist on Tuesday. Okay, I'm going to keep this. Gab showed us that he is playing Thoughtseize, so it's important to play Pinnacle Monk as your first land, so we can't get our land taken. Great hand. That was an awkward Molda 6 that game, too, for sure. I don't know that this deck would play that card in the sideboard. I think like the Wish deck would be main decking it. But like it is important that this is an artifact sweeper. I'm doing the challenge. I think it was enough. We need one player in 14 minutes. I think we'll get there. The new land destruction potion seems like it slots into all the pawns decks immediately. I think so, yeah. Okay, Gab is on a Multi 6. Yeah, Avengers Disassembled. Good name. Yeah, it's been 64s on Fridays for a while. The challenges have been filling up. They've been pretty popular. Did you ever play a version of this with Ruby? Not. We've played a Ruby build. I wouldn't say it's exactly this deck though. I think I'm gonna bottom. I have plenty of threats. I kind of want to hit my 3rd land. Could also be bad to keep that on top if Gab has a frog. So Gab mulled to 6 and had to pitch a spell snare. With Thoughtseize? Tamio? Thoughtseize, okay. So Thoughtseize for the Steel Cutter. So I guess punished for bottoming the Ragavan, maybe? I mean, if Gab has land frog. I don't know how the Steel Cutter's still in my hand. How is this still in my hand? What could it... Could he be thinking about taking the Legend? Could he be thinking about taking Bauble? Okay, takes the Steel Cutter. Sure. So I'm just gonna price the Freedom. If I draw a Steel Cutter, or maybe Channeler, I'll hold the Bauble. Probably not Channeler. Where does Ponza name come from? I'm told that the Ponza name comes from a sandwich. That's a sandwich that's green and red, and the original Ponza decks are green-red land destruction. Gotta drown. So drown 3 mystery cards. No frog. So if I play this Wildfire, then all of a sudden my Legend of Roku can be drowned. So I think I'm going to wait a turn. Why second his turn? He could have Thoughtseize, so I don't want to expose the card of my hand to a Thoughtseize. Now I wish my opponent, or Gab, had a frog, because I've got double discharge. Gab keeps a card on top, so hand is drown. 2 mystery cards. There's the frog. So I'm going to do a little bit of... I'm going to do something that you get... This is an advantage as a fast player. I'm going to think for a little bit, and then I'm going to discharge. My perception as a fast player is I'm not going to discharge. I'm going to immediately discharge if I have 2, right? Obviously, I'm just going to do that. If I have 2, I'm going to do it right away. If I only have 1, like a fast player is like not necessarily going to spend the switch time thinking about it, right? Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I think you can get some bluff equity being a fast player in spots like this. It was called that because it had the Meat, Infernal Titan, Sauce, Arbor Elf, Utopia Sprawl, and Cheese line destruction. Of course, Gab, being an even bigger pro, sniffs me out here. But I just get to tap up for Legend of Roku, and I draw Field of Ruin too, which is great. Monk, Channeler, Ragavan. So if Gab has a wand, he might tap out for it here. We know Gab has a drown. So drown tapped out of. Floats a black mana. Gonna graveyard this heat. Nice draw. I love that this is a land you can top deck in this deck. It's awesome. Oh, flips the Tamio. Okay. Can still kill with the discharge. Might be better to save the discharges for the Riddler. I could also just attack the Tamio. Let's see what we draw. Okay, draw a land. Flip the Legend of Roku. So if I attack this for 2 loyalty, discharge, I get to sandbag 2 energy, which is not enough to kill the Quantum Riddler. Alternatively, I can Pinnacle Monk and I can pick up Unholy Heat for the Quantum Riddler. I guess. Opponent's hand is still drowned mystery card. It is enough to kill the Riddler. If I have 2 energy sandbagged, and then I have cast another Galvanic Discharge, how is that 6 to kill the Riddler? What am I missing? You already have 1? I know I have 1. I'm gonna have 2 after this discharge resolves. And then I'm gonna... How is everybody... I think everybody's wrong, but I'm just trying to understand. Maybe I'm wrong. I know I already have 1. Then I'm gonna go to 2. And then I'm gonna have 5 total to kill the Riddler. I was already counting the 1. Okay, I'm gonna graveyard this. Yeah, maybe y'all... I think maybe y'all are not counting the -1 on the Tamio trigger. Yeah, they're thinking I'm gonna get an extra 2, but I'm gonna go. I was thinking I was gonna go to 2. Yeah, I guess I could have spent only 1 energy there. Yeah, opponent keeps the card on top. Super excited for Marvel. Ordered some low key so I can test them out on Instant Metalcraft. Amber's gonna go crazy. Hell yeah. I'm excited. So it looks like gonna drown my legend. Okay. 2 cards in hand over there. Warps the Riddler. Pretty good. Finds a Fatal Push too. Finds a Nile Spellbomb. Okay. Pretty good too. It's my known Unholy Heat. So I'm going to attack for 5. Maybe Gabble pop the Spellbomb now to take 2 less damage. Does do that. Do you find Riddler's gameplay boring like me? I'm someone that had to live through 2 years of Boros being the only way to play fair Magic, and so I'm very thankful to cards like Quantum Riddler and Cori-Steel Cutter for giving modern tools to fight through the stuff like this. Despite I think Quantum Riddler not being a very well designed card, it sure is something that isn't just Boros energy. Maybe it'd be better to get the extra prowess trigger on my turn. It's definitely a little weird to not yeah. Gav says top. I know. It's just so good, I think, with the monk. Gab does have another Riddler in warp. Punted playing that sync to not play around. Discharge early on. So this is going to be close to Delirium. I think I just graveyarded to get there. Oh, I guess I've just missed lethal by casting this. Okay, lethal again. Yeah, I could shoot our own land, that's true. Okay, so we're 2-0 in the challenge against our friend and Hall of Famer, Gabriel Nassif. I didn't know what else to call it. Mono red midrange felt a little weird. If you have a better deck name, I guess I am open to hearing it. Probably gonna put back the Roku here. Fish Iron Gold, pretty good. Yeah, I like the book a lot. I have the next book on my desk right now. Shoot, where's my... Alright, yeah, I'm on page 336 of Dark Age, and this book is fucking me up, dude. Mono red tablet. The problem with calling this mono red tablet is like, people are gonna think it's the Wish deck, and this is just a very different archetype. Okay, maybe it's not very different enough. What is the trophy on the table? That's from the trophy race. What book? Dark Age, which is the 5th book in the Red Rising series. No spoilers, please, anybody, but Chancellor of the Dross. So we're probably up against the... I guess it could be Mono Black Burn, but I think this is Nethergoyf most of the time, which is probably an awful matchup. I think I'm just going to go to work on their lands here. Sometimes they play like 1 or 2 basics. Is Dark Age the longest out of all of them? I don't know. I just bought the 6th book, which is the last one that's out, although the final book is coming out soon, right? I just bought the 6th book, and it looks smaller, but I haven't... I'm not sure. Oh, another basic. Well, I guess we can be happy to see that. And they pass the turn. We do miss a land drop. Maybe gonna cast like Plunge into Darkness here. Okay, doesn't have another land, which is good, or another basic at least. And then does cast Plunge into Darkness. If I had a land to play this turn and was able to, if I had a land those and I was able to go like Tablet of Discovery this turn, it would have been such a big game. Gonna need to draw land this turn probably to be able to beat a Cosmogoyf, which I imagine they're gonna play. Although it seems like they're having to think about it for some reason. They Inquisition me? That's nice. So it seems like their plan is to go Goyf Thud next turn, so they can take my Price of Freedom. So we do still need to draw a land, but if we could draw a land, we can field them and then play Channeler, maybe. I don't draw the land. Bummer, bummer, bummer. I guess we play Cori-Steel Cutter. Seems like we're going to probably die next turn now. So there's the third land. Feel like we're about to get thudded. Yep. So good to have their basic land count. We kind of have nothing for them. Oh, also, I didn't even submit the the Soulless Jailers. Okay, not that it would change anything here. Are we just straight up running it back? I guess sometimes they play Summoner's Pact. I don't think we saw any Summoner's Pacts there, though. All right, let's run it back. Vault Fracture with the 61 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Yeah, I somehow always run into the Cosmogoyf deck when I'm playing Mono Red. And it's a tough matchup. So also, I mean, that game was winnable. At least we'll see how this game goes. They do just kill themselves sometimes. Bauble is probably better than like Roku. I don't know. It also turns off my Mishra's Baubles. We played against Titan in the challenge. So they have a Gemstone Caverns with no Serum Powder. They exiled another copy of Gemstone Caverns. Maybe we'll hit like a Inquisition here. Number of cards you own in exile. Well, I guess I can't cast it anyways, huh? Let's cast a Wildfire. Yeah, Ragavan buffing the Goyf here is actually pretty awkward. Although they take enough damage, they can't pay enough life to be able to thud me next turn. So Cosmogoyf or Cori-Steel Cutter can maybe give me enough blockers to like perma chump the Cosmogoyf. We'll see. They also may just pay so much life I might be able to like steal a win by like going Sundering Eruption. You can't block attack. Lightning Bolt a lot better than Galvanic Discharge in this matchup. Spoils the Vault. They name Cosmogoyf, and Cosmogoyf is literally the top card of their deck. Despite me having just exiled the Cosmogoyf with Ragavan a second ago. Blue with the 1 year happy anniversary. I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. Look at this dog. Looks like a horse to me. So, we're very lucky that the Cosmogoyf was the top card, because now we can kill it with Galvanic Discharge. I can't believe I'm saying these words. Somehow it dies to Galvanic Discharge on turn 3. Fun matchup. Let's hit a third Cosmogoyf. Serum Powder. So there are 5 cards in hand, and they just concede. Okay. What a weird game. As games against Serum Powder Cosmogoyf often are. How do they have so few cards in exile? I mean, I gave them one of the cards. they cast Spoils the Vault, and the Cosmogoyf was the top card, despite only having 3 in the deck. It was very weird. Sometimes it's good to... Sometimes, you know, Plunge into Darkness kills them, and sometimes it doesn't exile any cards, and that's also really bad, which is funny. So now we have to do this again, but we have to be on the draw. Does the Modern Mulligan rules or with the Modern Mulligan rules, does Serum Powder exile 7 every time, or the number of cards you're at the mulligan? The number of cards you're at the mulligan, it's honestly very weird. I feel like you should just see 7 cards every time. I mean, I can never mulligan a turn 1 Ragavan because it's like the only good card we have in the matchup. What are the cards against Storm and Sideboard? We're supposed to have 2 Soulless Jailers over 2 of the Lanterns, and that's what the Moxfield says. But I imported the list I was playtesting with off stream instead on accident this morning. So my opponent, they have Serum Powder. Oh, they boarded Leyline Scion? Interesting. So probably not going to be having it this game since they exiled 2 Leylines. Okay, then they keep 7. They play a Disciple of Freyalise tapped. Could hold this for Cori-Steel Cutter. Seems okay. Thoughts on registering your Phyrexian Brew for Dallas? We'll get you a playable deck, don't worry. So we can die to the Goyf thing, fleeing thud if they, or sorry, Goyf land, fleeing if they have all 3, and obviously they're going to find one of those off this plunge. They do go down to 4. If they don't have the thud, the Sokenzan to make like 2 blockers for 3 mana is actually so good here. Let's see what they're drawing. Cliff. So they're going to have the prerequisite mana. They just have to have the Goyf and the fleeing as 2 of the unknown cards. Seems pretty likely at this point. Deal me 21 damage. All right. Tough matchup. Keep this on the play. What deck did I just play against? That deck is it's called Cosmogoy Fleeing usually. It's trying to do what you just saw as fast as possible. I'm struggling against Affinity with Prowess. Any tips? I mean, how many meltdowns you got? Add more meltdown, please, and subscribe for my wisdom. For my wisdom, add more copies of Meltdown to your deck to be better against Prowess. I'm pretty experienced when it comes to the whole modern format, and I know what's up. You can trust me. You can listen to me. But I mean, it really is just that simple, right? So, Arid Mesa, Wooded Foothills, maybe playing in Storm. When a graveyard's a basic mountain. More fetches. Plays a Scalding Tarn. And plays a Ral. So we don't have Delirium for the Heats. You're welcome, Freya. Thank you for the 56 months. So I guess I can't get Delirium even if I Legend Rule Ragavan here. Can maybe draw Discharge. Uh-oh. 2 matches still in progress in the challenge here. They flip over Desperate Ritual and Gemstone Caverns. Could you destroy my own land to turn on heat? Ah, there it was. That was the line. Yeah, I think we had enough mana to blow up our own land, Legend Rule Ragavan, and then Heat there. Opponents. Wildfire can target your own land. Price of Freedom can't. Oh no, I messed up. I could have heated the Row. I could have heated the Row with the trigger on the stack. Not that we're like very likely to win anyways. I think we'll go to game 2. Only one match left in the challenge though. Okay, we're supposed to have some jailers with some lanterns, but it submitted the wrong sideboard. I'm gonna cut the Legend of Roku's. I think I'm gonna cut all the Heats also. And then we can use Vexing Bauble plus Lantern ends up usually being a pretty good plan where Lantern stops Past in Flames, Vexing Bauble stops Ral Ultimate. This Unholy Heat is sideboarded out, but this is just a visual bug. Although round 2 of the challenge is about to start, so I'm actually just gonna concede this match, and so we can lock in here. We're 1-0 in the challenge. Let's keep this on the play. I've got Story by Robert McKee, Iron Gold, Dark Age, and Dungeon Crawler Carl supporting the microphone here. Okay. It's maybe one too many books. When it goes Delta Go. Yeah, I'm gonna start reading Dungeon Crawler Carl once I finish the Red Rising series. I saw online today though that they're getting Dungeon Crawler Carl is getting like a TV series or something. It was pretty fun. Thoughts? Sith McFarlane is directing. That's fun. I liked his Orville series. I only watched I think the first 2 seasons. I didn't watch it after it came back, but I liked the Orville a lot. Well, rough Thoughtseize, I guess. I think I'm gonna crack it in their upkeep to play around another Thoughtseize. Did you say Red Rising? Yeah, I've been reading the series this year. I'm on the 5th book. Like I've been if the 5th book continues as it is, like if it stays the same quality, I think it's gonna be my favorite so far. I feel like his writing leveled up a lot in this book. Not that it was ever bad, but like the prose feels like it's on another level to me without spoiling anything. I think I will play the Flashfires. Maybe it's a little greedy. I think I'm just gonna play the Heats and no discharges. Maybe play 1 Flashfires. I think I've been getting this visual bug a lot today. So we're really at 61. It's not letting me side out the discharge. We did win the last challenge match. The most common order of reference for series is 6, 5, 2, 3, 4, 1. I like 3 a little bit more than like 2. I thought that those were very good. I would put it. I haven't finished 5, so I'm not going to say. But I would put. I've read 1 through 4, and I would say 3 was the best, then 2, then 4, then 1. And then 5 is probably going to end up being number 1, but I haven't finished it yet. You should give us some unstable amulet tree. I just don't believe it anymore. I don't know. Do you have any idea what the red ruby list will look like after adding the sweeper? I've got some ideas. I'm gonna wait to post it though. We can try this on the play against Gorios. It'd be kind of a funny Thoughtseize if they have it. Looks like they've got Otherworldly Gaze. Happy Pride. Actually, pretty bad sequencing if they want to leave a card on top here, right? Because they're just going to shuffle things away. Although they just dump. They just get it. Otherworldly Gaze when it's in Tomb is pretty good. It's pretty good. So this can stop end of turn Gorios. They may just Goryo's in response and just use it like a draw spell. They do find Force of Negation they might want to use. They're gonna this can be a land, a sorcery, a creature, and an instant. So 2 mana, draw 4. They choose Ephemerate, Ending, Sewers, and Solitude there. They could have chosen a Gristlebrand or a Traxa and discarded them to hand size, so maybe my opponent doesn't have another Goryo's, or maybe they just already have another Atraxa. Interesting they chose Undercity Sewers instead of an untapped land, also. They do Prismatic Ending the Ragavan. Then they pass back. Then they do discard a Gristlebrand. I think I want to get the Cori-Steel Cutter going. And then we can get the last basic out of their deck, so I can start stone raining them. Totally content if they Solitude / Ephemerate me. Draw another copy of Pinnacle Monk. They get their back streets. There's nothing wrong with taking the back streets after all. They graveyard a Psychic Frog, which is scary because that card is really, really good here. And they show me a Force of Negation, so maybe I should have just slammed the Legend of Roku last turn. We know they have a Solitude, Ephemerate, a Force of Negation, and they've got an Undercity Sewers, and beyond that they've got 3 mystery cards. Hopefully one of those mystery cards is not a copy of Goryo's Vengeance. One of them was a Quantum Riddler. And then they Ephemerate the Riddler. I do not have Delirium at the moment. We do get a Bauble draw. Okay, so let's lead on Channeler. And then we'll see if they want to Force of Negation my Tablet of Discovery. They do force, they pitch Phlage Archaeologist, so my opponent still has Solitude, they still have Undercity Sewers. I guess we keep that on top. That can help me get Delirium next turn and help me get my Monk tokens. But I think for now we're just going to have to pass. Do they have another Surveil to get? They can't. Okay, they do. They have the Archive. They graveyard a Thoughtseize. We need to dodge a drawn Goryo's. They have their draw step, and they also have this Rebound Ephemerate. If they already have Goryo's, they could consider Goryo'sing the Gristlebrand now and using the Rebound Ephemerate on it. They probably wouldn't do that. Just an option. Better on Atraxa sometimes. Tough to have not drawn Graveyard Hate. Yeah, they have a Hedge Maze, but that was a Marsh Flats, right? Which they couldn't get. So opponent may be planning to hardcast Solitude this turn. Let me go ahead and start off with a Bauble. Our priority is going to be getting Delirium. Another sorcery. Unfortunately, that is not a land. Let's see if my legend resolves. We are growing our tokens pretty big. Okay, that's one more type for Delirium. We get the trigger. We find another Channeler, so I'm going to go Mountain, Channeler, and I am going to cast the Heat, and we're going to hope we can find Delirium off of 2 Surveils. Could have bobbled ourselves first, but like I think we'd still cast the Heat even if we didn't see Delirium on top. Not Delirium. Not Delirium. So, do I want to keep Cori-Steel Cutter number 2? I guess no. I don't know. It's kind of close. One thing that's nice is they don't have amazing blocks here. I mean, I guess they could just get the block of. They could go Solitude one of the monks, block one of these. Yeah, they have 5 blocks. We do have Delirium now. We have Delirium now. They do have to shock here to play the Solitude. Should have at least a Godless Shrine in the deck. Could have not moved Steel Cutter and attacked with 3/3 prowess. Move Steel Cutter and attack with 3/3 prowess. I think I'm fine moving over here and hoping to like get the Delirium and you know. And even in this situation, like if we do get Delirium off the Heat, like they're gonna get to eat something anyway, so I think we might as well attack with this one. Assuming that's what you're saying. So I think they're gonna exile one of my 4/4s. Yeah, and then probably block here, and then take 4, and then go to 6. That was a full turn cycle go. I see. Were they gonna chump my monk instead of trade? I guess their life total stays only 1 point higher. Maybe that's good. Okay, so that's bad. One good news is Kavero stays a 4/4, so if they Kavero Gristlebrand, yeah, it's not so bad to have a 4/4 Gristlebrand while they're at 7. It's not the end of the game, but it's gonna be pretty bad. It says 2 points higher because of Trample. It needs some help off the draws for sure. Yeah, they might just copy Solitude, which we can just keep playing. There's only one match still in progress in the challenge. They finally play that Sewers. They Graveyard of Thoughtseize. I guess I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick while they take this turn. So okay, so they did copy Solitude after all. I'm excited to maybe equip Legend of Roku. We do find Unholy Heat. But we can only play one spell this turn. So I think I'm just going to chill on the Heat. I would attribute you and Dingo to making Scam a deck. I don't know why people attribute Scam to me at all. I had almost nothing to do with that deck's popularity or creation. But I'd say between Scam and Beanstalk, I would say that Beans was like definitely the more powerful deck. So I think let's go double block Solitude, Heat the Riddler. Yeah, I'll take credit for Yawgmoth. I thought you were one of the first to try scamming the elementals. I'm not Fury and Grief. I wasn't. I really don't think so. And if I was, I didn't really come close to the Rakdos scam list as is. I like one thing is I built the Rakdos Luris deck. That was the standard Rakdos deck. That was like a tier 1 modern deck, 1 CFB Vegas. While Luris was legal. And so I think a lot of people associate Rakdos MH2 with me. And I do think the Luris deck was the better of the two. I think a lot of people associate that with me, but that wasn't the scam deck that I had like basically no part in. Top rated RC Charge this weekend. Nice. Love that deck. Sidious with the Twitch Prime. Your subscription is complete. They keep 2 cards on top after putting an Archaeologist in the yard. They must have found a Gorios by now. I haven't found a one of my 4 Graveyard Hate spells yet. Also, the challenge is started. We've won all 3 of our die rolls, which is good. Opponents last seen playing Jeskai control. Mentally, I'm really not prepared for another control mirror. I'll try to lock in. I'm not gonna just assume that that's what they're playing though. I'm gonna just choose to play first in the blind. My opponent doesn't seem to be here yet either. Oh, I guess they don't have a. Oh, they said the Gristlebrand. Okay. My opponent is here, and they did reveal Kahira, so I really want to play this game. I think we're even like in a winning position where I get to like, yeah, this does seem like a winning position here. However, let's lock it on the challenge. I do have a 0 lander for my opener. I have to mulligan, but Magic Online is kind of crashing.